Alright guys, welcome back to our second stream of the night. We are on the new track, Green Grass, by my buddy Canadian. Dylan says, hey, I just found a weird but crazy mod called Aniki Muscle Car Roll. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. There's probably a lot of history behind that. I'm pretty sure there's some, we'll just not talk about that. But yeah, you got to refresh the server for the new track, and I believe that I am all set on it, or maybe not. Yeah, I'm all set on it. Okay, cool. So let's change our view over. We're gonna actually remember crazy times. Wait for that to pop in. There we go. I'm gonna go turn off the video preview on my streaming software. How's the audio on that? Is that like way too loud or is it okay? Do let me know if that's way too loud. And we shall see while I check and see if this has a track map. Oh, it's a tiny track. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Coop! What's up, Kame? Figured out drifting now. Hey, awesome, dude! That's great. That is great. I'm doing some sim drinking and sim driving tonight. Nayfoon, same link to old server. Yeah, I believe it's the same server. Oh, that sounds so good, Dylan. Yeah, but anyways, what's your thought on American style drifting versus old school grassroots style. Oh, I didn't delete my AI file. I hope I don't get in trouble. Maybe a bit loud compared to my voice. Good to know. I can adjust that. Thank you, thank you. I was kind of waiting on that before I hopped out. Alright, that should be a lot better. How's that? Is that better? Thank you for evaluating that. This live chat's cool. Alright. Sim drinking. Hey! Live chat is broken in the bid? Not really sure about that. Donk. Oh, I'm so sorry. Right, so we're... Oh boy. I want a little bit more response. I don't know if this is part of the track or not. We're sight reading a brand new track. I think it's just a pull-off place to get into tandem with people, which is pretty rad. Some nice elevation changes on this track. Oh, car guy, it's a little bit of Malibu and Coke. Cap'n and Coke, or rum and Coke, is one of my favorite poisons if I decide to have a little bit. We'll see what all it does to my reaction times here. I love the sound of that blow-off valve. It's probably going to get annoying with how much I have to let off and modulate throttle on this track. Oh, and then we're back to the start. Well, that's short. That's not bad. My only criticism for this track, oh gosh, is that this car normally has no issue with power, and it's actually struggling to not bog. Like, I kind of need to drift in first gear around a lot of this track. The turns are just that tight. Oh, I tried to follow him and did the exact same thing I did last lap. So, right, what are my thoughts on American versus old school grassroots drifting? You know, old school grassroots drifting will always have a special place in my heart. Proper old school grassroots drifting, it's crazy when you go back and watch now. It's like, honestly, it's like going back and playing an old game. So here's an example. Final Fantasy VII was an amazing experience for me when I was young. You know, I didn't have to work, I was in school, and I could just play the crap out of that game, and it was really enjoyable. And when Final Fantasy VII Remake got announced, I'm using an S13 right now, kaboom. When Final Fantasy VII Remix got announced, I was really excited to see it have new graphics and stuff. So I went out and tried to play original Final Fantasy VII again, and you know, in my mind it was this amazing experience and like a super great game that was very impactful to me when I was young. And I went back and I played it and I was kind of underwhelmed. Like, the game itself and the story is great, but the graphics were just so bad. And that's kind of what it's like with grassroots drifting, in the sense that, like, you have these awesome memories of it, and like, it's not terrible, it's really good, but I do struggle a bit when I look back and I look at the actual amount of angle that the cars are running. Like, even the pros had like no angle, and it was just sad. Like, it looked uncool because of how little the angle was. To me, like, you don't have to have Wisefab angle kits, but I feel like the guys had so little angle that they just couldn't do a whole lot. And so, like, that's something about grassroots drifting that I'm not completely in love with. Like, not having 1,000 horsepower, awesome. Not having YSFAB, awesome. However, I think there's a huge gap between 1,000 horsepower YSFAB cars and, like, true like old school grassroots cars. And in that gap, you've got cars like mine that make, 300 to 450 horsepower and, have 60 degrees of steering angle to up to YSFAB levels. I don't have YSFAB steering in my car. However, oh, that's way too fast. I keep doing that. However, for me, that is kind of the golden mix between the two. And then as far as like proper new, I'll get to you guys in chat in just a second. I'm answering a super detailed question that I got, a great question. As far as like, as I start speaking Japanese, how do I say this? As far as like modern, like American or pro drifting, I guess you could say, I don't hate it. It's just very different. Things that are rad about it though, if we didn't have those guys pushing the limits all crazy, we would never have gotten, off-the-shelf bolt-on angle kits the way that we have for our cars. So that's super cool. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I beat you up a little bit. That was too hard. I'm gonna see if I can climb the hill here. And then use the appropriate level of send for the super tight corner, or I'll just fall off the edge. That's fine. This is a drift playground style track called Green Grass. I'm not using the 8.6. Change the gearing on the S13, make them longer so that you have more space in first. Yes, that's true. I just hop in and drive everything normally. Tora, suddenly I now see the video. Oh. Uh-oh. Frame rate seems to be dropping. Let me see if, I don't have any reports of frame drops, so we're just going to send it. My system will tell me if I skip or drop frames. I'm not seeing any of that. Roman, I just got into sim drifting on Assetto and I'm having trouble dialing wheel settings. What wheelbase do you have? Because it's all about what wheelbase you have. There's a huge difference between, me and Rema's and probably yours. Everybody's got different gear. So let me know what you've got first of all. And then we're going to make a few adjustments to the car. Adjusting gearing is probably a good call. So I was just using a 39 mile an hour. So there's a 36 available. Let's try the 36. And a 34. That sounds decent. And Iwa says, just got into drifting again. I love running Adam's S15 on his home track, OSW. Yeah, that's a cool track too. Very cool car. How to adjust force feedback to fit my driving style? I mean, it depends on... I'd have to know your driving style, which unfortunately I don't. JT Pro, what's the hardest part about manual? I don't know if it'll be easier for me because I have 3 pedals and shifter. Um, I mean, there's not a whole lot about the manual that's hard. Like, I guess if you don't know how to do it, probably clutching and clutching in to do e-brakes and clutch kicks, and like figuring out how much to give. I think it correlates great, honestly. The only thing that you miss, JT Pro, you miss like finesse, because in a simulator you're basically just like doing burnouts all the time. So when you go to drive on the street like a normal person, you will find that like you'll have to learn how to not just do clutch drops constantly. So if you want to drive, like, not race, if you just want to cruise and be smooth and impress somebody to be like, oh, this guy really knows how to drive nicely, it won't help you with that. But every other aspect, you'll be like quite solid on. Oh, that gearing change made all the difference. Car feels like it's supposed to now. That also means I'll have to sneak up to third right here, back down to second. Oh, caught the wall just a little bit. Oh my. So this is kind of a cool track. It feels tighter or slower than Drift Playground, but I like the concept. There are a few places that I think it is just a little tighter than is like reasonable. Oh, I'm dead. Managed to jump out of the way. Yeah, you're welcome. Happy to help. Alright, so Roman, you have a TX. Is that the belt drive Thrustmaster? Like the TSPC or the TS for the PlayStation and TX for Xbox? If it's the belt drive, you should be in really good shape. Yeah, Nafun, the WDT pack was updated. They added 2 cars that you're probably missing if you haven't grabbed the update. Dog Whisperer, what is up? Imagine being good at drifting in Assetto. Yeah, like... being good at drifting in Assetto is kind of strange. Oh no. That's not how you display any sort of skill at drifting in Assetto, that's for sure. We'll wait for these 2 to go by. We're gonna see if we can't follow them a little bit. I thought I was going to catch the guardrail so hard. Everything was off time there, but we got some guys that I can follow a little bit. Messed up. Oh, goodness. Oh, Dog Whisperer. Yeah, man, it's just like... 2 things. One, most importantly, a good wheelbase that's a belt drive wheel, which sucks because it's expensive, but honestly, if you don't have a belt drive wheel, I don't know why you even bother. At least as a real-life drifter, I am spoiled by real car steering geometry that's designed to self-steer. So... yeah, one, get a belt drive wheel, and then two, it just takes some practice. Colin Miller, hey, what is that, man? Welcome to the stream. We are in a server here on, I mean, it's in the Discord, which is in the description of the video. I always put it in there. Tips for anything that's not a belt drive wheel, Mark, which includes your G920. You're going to have to get really good at throwing the steering wheel. 100% your wheel is not going to counter steer enough, and it's going to cause you to counter steer too slow, too late, and you're going to spin the car a lot until you learn how to adjust for it. So like, I know that the wheel's got to go back in this direction, so I would throw it like that. And now it's got to go back the other way, so I'd take this hand and I'd throw it, and then I would throw it. And by doing that, you're helping the wheel steer because it sucks at actually self-steering. And I need to make a video on this, but that's generally my advice for basically everyone who doesn't have either like a Thrustmaster TS, TX, Fanatec CSL Elite, or Fanatec CSW, or of course direct drive if there's any ballas in the house. Just doing a little bit of oh, too much. A little bit of no e-brake challenge, unexpectedly, on this map. Just seeing what it feels like. This is going to be the turn that's hard. And coming up, this will be the other turn that's hard. I can't do it without e-brake there. Diamond says 100% force feedback should work, and it probably will help. JT Pro, I've never once experienced a case where my wheel doesn't self-steer enough, so like, I don't know. Like, if it doesn't self-steer enough, it's because for me anyway, it's because I hold onto the wheel slightly too long. That's one of the skills of drifting, is to figure out like when, because if you need to make adjustments to the wheel, you need to hold it. But if you're transitioning, you generally need to let it go. So you can mess yourself up by holding the wheel too long. Oh no. That was the wrong call. I don't know what I was thinking there. Spiffy grooves. I mean, I always assume that it's frame drop on my end, but normally, yeah, I normally have a status indicator that tells me that, and I'm not seeing that it's logged any yet, so even if there was, I couldn't do anything about it. We're just going to roll with it. On the right side of the bus in the pits, at the back, you can see the Chester Cat. If you try to leave, the map signs will tell you to teleport to pits. Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry it's going to take a while to download. Hard to see more than 2 people tandeming. I'll make something better maybe in 2 to 3 weeks. We'll have a 10-car tandem. Right on. Yeah, like this is not bad. I would just say to make it a little bit, oh, there was a little bit of a glitch right there that I noticed in terms of my my stream quality, but I would say the concept is alright, it just needs to be scaled up. And also, this turn coming up, after we go up this little half pipe, that feels really cool. This turn right here is just way too tight. Like, it's doable, but it's pretty annoying. So I would say that that's something to look at. Some good lead runs going here. Pretty nice chase, although I say that and I just made it super tight where it's hard to follow me, so sorry about that. Oh no, too much. Oh, transitioned a bit late there. When you're following somebody, especially in like a not competition way, because I mean comp has, oh shit, I just obliterated him, I'm sorry dude. When you're following somebody, you have a couple things that you need to try to get right. Generally, thank you for scooting out of the way, bud. Generally you want to try and transition when they do. So you'll see, like, that was a little late, but not bad. That was okay. I got too conservative there, but the start of the transition timing was fine. So, ways that you do that, aside from just knowing the track and knowing where people should transition, and eventually knowing the driver that you're following. Oh, he slowed down more than I could cope with there. Is looking at the front wheel that you're able to see and kind of gauge their inputs, which is cool. Me personally, when I'm this close to somebody, I actually look in their window and look at the driver's hands. Oh, that was rowdy. Little tap. Got too close and hung myself and had to bail. Whoa! Didn't realize there was a jump on this track. There's just not quite room for a third car. But we're in here, man. Uh-oh. Alright, we'll get caught back up here. So, we're going to try and predict when the lead will transition. Transition in sync. sometimes I also like to start just a hair early. And what that does is it lets me drop back for a little bit. And then you'll see the lead car transition, and I will already be transitioning a touch early. So what that causes is I have the ability to like jump right back in. So it's an easy way to give them the space to transition safely. That still results in pretty close proximity during the actual turning part. Up to third, throw it big, back down to second. Huge e-brake drag, a little bit of foot brake down the hill. I could have done that differently if I had my real handbrake. So thank you again, Carlos, for the super chat earlier. That will help me out. I'll have a new handbrake for next Friday, I'm sure. I'm actually going to jump off for 1 second so I can articulate this point that I'm trying to make about how to tandem and time what you're doing. So I'm going to come over into this little outfield area here. Right, so what I was saying was one of the things that you can do is start your transition early. So if this is your lead and this is your chase car, and so you're back here, if you transition at the same time, you have to be this far away so that you don't hit them. And if you're this close, then you're going to hit them like that. So what you do is you start to transition early, and so I'll let off, and that'll establish some distance, and then I'll start to transition a little bit before they do, and it lets me jump in right here and lock back in and stay close. So if you want to go from back here to back here, that's fine, but if you want to get the skills to go from here to here, that's where you have to like let them pull ahead, transition early, and suck back up. And if you transition at the exact same time, then you kind of look like this. But if you transition early and you time it right, that's where you get the whole like bam, bam, bam. So that's what I think looks the coolest. That's how I try to drive. Oh, it's pretty hot. Getting warm in here for sure. I'm going to see if my tandem partner's coming back around the corner, which this is a short track, so it ought not take long. Oh well, I can't resist this tandem train. I'm going to jump in behind Choopy, Bandit, and definitely not crash into the guardrail right away. Such a tight track, I'll probably actually catch up pretty quick. Another thing about tandem is the farther back in a tandem train you are, the more difficult it gets. Generally, the track gets cut more and more by the guys in the back as they try to get up to the door of the guy in front of them. So if you're the second car, you've got all the space in the world, assuming the lead car gives you something to work with. The third car will typically have a little bit less, and eventually, messed up. When you get back here to where I'm at, I mean, there are tandem drivers who are good enough that you can do this, but it gets quite difficult. So I'm going to focus on cutting the track kind of tight, not going super wide so that I can cover up the distance. And now that I've gotten caught up, we're going to go back to that whole thing about trying to watch their transition timing and transition either at the same time or slightly earlier to maintain good proximity. Right now, I'll give you the play-by-play here. I'm basically just following along, and I'm not really able to do earlier transitions. Oh, got a little sketched out there. Alright, so our last guy teleported out. Somebody's hitting me. I don't know if that's really necessary or not, but he's messing me up. As well as messing up my mental flow to where it's harder for me to drive well. So let's see if that was a fluke, or if that's going to be just how this tandem is. So see there, I definitely transitioned a little bit early. That time I was late, and I gripped up. Oh, that's Mark. Right on. Oh, and Mark teleported to pits anyway after that. Okay. That was my fault. Canadian, yes, thank you for designing this cool track. I'm always happy to bring the community news on Assetto Corsa models and tracks within the limit of my schedule and what I've already got planned, of course. Hey, Mark, you're fine. I wasn't doing my best, and this is a tight track. It's kind of hard not to hit people. Like right now I'm erring on the side of trying not to, but it doesn't take very much to accidentally end up in that spot, so you're good. Gripped up. Alright, here we go. Let's try it. Up to third, down to second, e-brake, foot brake, clutch kick. Wasn't the best. I tagged OTM Tandem just a little bit just then. Hung up his transition for just a fraction of a second, but it wasn't enough to actually mess him up. I caught the guardrail with a gnarly wall tap just then. Go wide and avoid this guy. It's gonna mess up my transition timing a little bit here, but not too much. Oh, that's way too wide. Yikes. I'm gonna jump out the way. Woo! Alright. Chat, let's catch up on chat for 1 second because I totally missed you guys. That tandem was just too good not to. Alright, so I'm just going to pick a spot and we're going to go. If I miss you, please drop another comment. I'm sorry. Alright. We are drifting in Assetto Corsa, not competizione. Sorry. Spiffy Grooves might be out of an IRL car soon. Just offered me 2K for my S13. Man, I would hang on to it. Unless your S13 is like not running and doesn't have much in it, I would keep it. Barnyard Bash in Assetto Corsa. If they have a barnyard map, yeah, maybe so. I'm not aware of it, but again, send it to me. I'll check it out. Torah 16-person tandem train around the tree under the trailer. That would be pretty rad. And yes, I will totally send it to Hoonigan if we do that. What do you think about people who use third person? Say that you should only run first person. I mean, do what's right for you. If you're trying to simulate real drifting, you should be using cockpit view. But if that part of it is not important to you for whatever reason, and it feels better to use third, use third. It's cool to... One thing that sucks about real life drifting is you can't see your car. Like, that's why you should always high-five your local media guy. I always try to show love to my local media guys. Even when I'm driving, you'll see in almost all my clips I start cheesing and you know, like giving attention to them, letting them see that even when I'm in the car doing my job as a driver, I appreciate them being out there, because seeing your own car from the outside is really cool and you don't get to. So third person is kind of cool in that way. You can see other people's tandems and stuff like that as they get up close to your door, which is, you know, it'd be neat to see what that would be like if you could do it in real life. But personally, I'm not a fan because I drift in real life and this is what it looks like. Any other way, if I'm on a real wheel, it just feels weird. And even on controller, I do better in first person. Or like, if I don't have that, I'll use, oh, it's not got it, hold on. Sorry about that. I'll use the hood view, if nothing else. The hood cams are pretty nice. But you know, do what's right for you. Fred Rider, dude, fun laps, holy shit. Yeah, man, I knew that was you. I remembered your funky Assetto screen name. You were crushing it. That was awesome. I felt really good about those. That was some of my best laps that I've probably done. This is a good track for that because it's so slow. Just as you were about to say, the guys in the back can mess you up. Elaine just sold your VR. Okay. Hey man, you're getting a 350Z to get back into drifting in real life though. That's fun. Like, everybody is doing that because it's, you know, it's just so much fun to drive in real life. Canadian, nice driving. Yeah, no, thank you. It was this was not bad. As you can see, it's doable. But if it was all scaled up just a little bit, and like that one turn that I pointed out, that's kind of like, it's not even a 90 or a 180. It's like this shape where you go super tight. That was evened out a little bit, more like the other half pipe. It'd flow really well. Livery for the S13. I need to do some work on that. I don't have a whole lot that I can share at this moment. So not a lot. These cars are hard to use. They need clutch kicks. They do. Yeah, they're not super huge power cars. Me and my team made a clip to send in the burn yard. I can send you a link. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll check it out. In fact, if you want to drop it in the share content channel in the Discord so everyone can check it out, by all means, please do. We're going to get some more tandems with Crowd Rider here. Oh, the Pro, I'm sorry, man. Hopefully you can get on soon. Because, yeah, this is pretty fun. Oh, I'm dead. When I heard it was a Drift Playground inspired map, I was kind of expecting good tandems. And yeah, now that I'm actually getting to drive it, I am not disappointed. Oh, a little wall tap at the back of the guardrail too. A not so little wall tap at the back of the guardrail. Yeah, this is pretty fun. Hopefully this is fun to watch too. We had some awesome tandem a little bit ago. And now I've just got to get myself, I stopped to catch up on chat, back in the game here mentally as well. Oh, a little wall tap there. Apparently it's wall tap day. Some more feedback, Canadian, which is not necessary. This is just my personal preference. But I would not mind to see a little bit more space, like, I don't know, 2 tire widths or like 2 feet or something. Oh god, that was bad. Between where the edge of the track is and the guardrail. Like, just have some... I'm all out of swords, so I'm going to take a second. Just have some grass or some dirt. It just make it a little bit easier. Crazy Rabbit, thank you for the sub, by the way. I saw you. I was just had my hands full a little bit. Thank you for checking out the channel. Here, we do a lot of sim drifting, but I'm also a real-life drifter, so you can see all kinds of fun content here on the channel. There goes Matt. JT Pro's posted up behind. Oh, we've got a big old tandem ready to go. For those of you who are new to the stream, my e-brake is busted. I'm using my keyboard spacebar for that. So we are just, oh boy, just trying to figure that out. I'm gonna follow JT Pro up the hill. Oh god, it's a little sketchy. There's good tandems everywhere you look on this map. Grassroots Series, hey, what is up? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for checking it out. If you're new, I am a real life drifter, and I got into sim drifting last year. I've done it before in like 2006, but I wasn't very serious about it. I didn't have good gear. So now we are really enjoying it. And on my channel, you can find all sorts of car stuff. Real life drifting and sim. It's good times. Bill TV, wrong account. Hey, what is up? Tora, I can't join. Keeps telling me game crash, probably because of internet. Oh, this is a tough track to read comments on while I drive. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. This is a fun little track. If you had any issues with internet, it would probably not be a very fun track, though, because there's not very much room before you are in some manner of guardrail or trouble. Yeah, that S14 looks really good, the Pro. I'm pleased that they released it. That's a great looking model. Go up to third, back down to second. Oh no! Killed too much speed and effectively lost the drift there, fully parking it. Shout out to my chase guys who managed not to destroy me just then, because they ought to have hit me probably. I'm gonna bomb up this little half pipe. And then into this super hard, super tight turn. I'm gonna try going up to third here. Takes a second clutch kick. But it works pretty well. That was my fault. That was my bad. They keep saying maybe because too much overclock or overheat. That sounds like a hardware issue. I'm not really sure about that one. Yeah, I'm all about that S13, which I'm in presently. I've been noticing on Fridays I've been having more problems. Need to get... Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in general. Oh, shit. I'm so sorry, dudes. I did not even see you. Which I don't know how I didn't see you. If you're into sim drifting and you don't know about etiquette, etiquette is basically everything that I just did, but inverted. Don't do that. That's bad etiquette. Saying I didn't know or I didn't see you is no excuse. That was shitty of me. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but yeah. I feel like a lot of people just jump out and hope that they don't hit anybody, and that's not cool. I just straight up didn't see them. Oh, I'm so far back. I've got to reset. Not for proximity, but like my line was just, I was in the wrong places. Transitioning so early that I had like no hope of getting around the track. Oh no. Got a little tap. Giving another little tap. Getting another little tap. That's okay though. Alright, don't stuff it. I stuffed it. iWasp, hey, I just recently found your channel. I love watching the content you put out. Straight to the point, very well done. Hey man, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers, sir. And if you want to be a part of helping that get bigger, which you already are, but if you want to help a little bit more, if you got some buddies who are into drifting or into Japanese cars, Japanese life, mostly drifting, to be honest, feel free to share this content out with them. You know, introduce them to the channel. We've really grown the channel more than anything else by simply showing people and introducing it to them. So it's pretty much all word of mouth plus 1 or 2 viral videos that are responsible for the channel growing. But yeah, I really appreciate you checking it out. Thank you for being here. And obviously, if you're checking out the streams, this is where the stuff that's not like short and to the point lives. This is kind of just the hangout content. But I enjoy hanging out with you guys. One of the things that makes drifting fun, that keeps drifting fun, as we ride the wall hard down that hill, is all the social aspect to it and the community. So doing live streams, whether it's every week, which is what I do now, or if I ever drop back to every other week, is just all about that, getting those good hangouts in. There's somebody who needs to map teleport to pits and get content manager. I have a tutorial series on that. That way if you wipe out, you don't have to worry about everybody dodging you. And you can just get on with it. Come back at a better time. So we're following Matt in the R34. Oh! Sorry, Kusanagi. I guess, I don't know if you're all that familiar with this track yet, but for me that's a really slow corner. And clearly I slowed down more than you were expecting. So, my bad, bro. We're going to try and catch back up with Matt. That's not the way we're going to do it, though. There's FPS stutter for some reason. It's nothing within my control, man. Like, it's buttery smooth here, and my streaming software is not reporting any down issues, so there's nothing that I can fix with, like, what I have at the moment, sorry. It very well could be my internet, but usually I get told when I'm dropping or skipping frames, and both last stream, because I did 2 back-to-back tonight if you didn't see the other one at NOLA, and this stream, I haven't received anything telling me that, so I don't know what to make of that. I'm sorry if it happens. Let's try and do a no e-brake lap. Once we get up to the top here. Getting pitted by Kusa. Boda says that you watched... Alright, no e-brake lap while I chat, we'll try it. My tutorial on how to install mods did not work. That is part of a bigger playlist now. It might not have been back when you watched it. That talks about installing Content Manager, custom shaders patch. And if you haven't already, you really need to do all of those things. Content Manager is... it just makes things not mess up as much. Alright, we got around one of the hard turns that you want e-brake for, and here's the other one. Yeah, sorry, that's my fault because I'm trying to do this lap without the e-brake. And it looks like we're probably going to make it, but because of that I do some unusual stuff, and people that are used to following me don't have it. And with that, we've done it. No e-brake lap completed. Now that I got that out of the way, I don't have to worry about continuing. I just like to prove it to myself that I can do it. However, there are some turns where the e-brake is just straight up the right tool for the job. And this track, oh my. Sorry guys. This track has a couple of them. This is one that I think the e-brake feels really nice at. You can start e-braking way early, like right back there. and it will cause the car to pull around really nicely. And this is the other one. We are leading a nice sized train, which I want to be able to see this train. Yeah, I do hear that they got some pretty funny Bosozoku style horns in the pack. But because we're leading a good sized train and I want to see it, I'm going to attempt, oh, a little wall tap, so good, to use this little pit road and get out the way. Hopefully not everybody just follows me, we'll see. Oh snap, do a barrel roll. That worked perfectly. Basically 4 cars were able to sneak around me there. So Canadian, if you're still watching, he's our track designer for this. I really like that idea. Having little areas where you can naturally duck out of the way, and if everybody else just keeps on tandeming, you end up going right back, sliding back in a couple of cars back. That's very cool. Alright, so we're now following Matt in the HR34. And that's another way to change and end up where you want to. And then Pro Rider. It's kind of blue 180, and then I'm in a red S13, so it's Nissan all the way. Oh, caught some air there. That's a little bit of a rough spot. Gonna have to polish that up. Ooh, that was great. Oh, that was too hard. I am sorry. Dodged him. Yikes. Alright. Can I catch up to Matt? That is the question. Because I would like to get some tandems in with Matt. He's fast though. That was some initial D third stage shit right there. That was bad. Alright, I'm gonna have to find some way to cheat to catch up to Matt. Alright, now that I've cheated a little bit, and I've caught up to Matt, let's get some damn tandems. God, he's just fast. The Pro, you're gonna make it in? Sorry, guys. Well, I tried to follow Matt. It was a little difficult. Ooh, 20 people, full server. Mr. Wise Guy, hey, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. We are on a new original track that one of my friends just released. Having a good time. You know, I bet an 8.6 would actually be really fun here. Alright, we're following Kusanagi in an R32 Skyline. Dang, we almost like passed him on the outside. Dang, dude, I assassinated him. Alright, well I wasn't trying to get my revenge for getting pitted earlier, but I definitely did some damage there, so I'm sorry, bud. We're following Matt up the hill here. Well, that was not really a good call. Road Rider, good runs, getting out for the night. Tired of messing up too much. Dude, I hear you. I am approaching that point where I am just tired and not doing so hot. Excellent runs. It was awesome fun. In fact, you know what? I want to capture that replay real quick. So I'm going to take 1 second. Jump out. Hopefully I don't lose my spot. We'll see. Keep that replay for sure. I would love to try an 8.6 in here. That just seems like a fun time. There's only the one, though. Alright, we're getting loaded back in. It is 11:41. We're doing great. I just got my tracking notification from Summit Racing, which is kind of the Walmart. They might be offended by that. I don't know. But I kind of picture them as the Walmart for race car parts, along with Jags, because they stock a ton of stuff. They may not be the coolest parts in the world, but like all the essentials. They have got all kinds of excellent tools, etc., etc. I'm gonna get in that tandem here in a little bit. I'm just gonna scoot. Right over here. Oh no, we're not done. We're not done for the night, the pro. I am just waiting for my train, which should be coming up. That's not it. That's not it. Here it comes. Alright, here we go. I think we got at least 3, if not 4 cars to follow. 4. Yeah. Nothing like missing a shift to start off a tandem chase. But for whatever reason, probably because their tires are dead and mine are new, it's not so hard to catch up. Wow. I just parked it like perfectly. Alright, we just lost one of our guys. Let's see how this new S14 looks. Oh. Man, I'm getting sloppy. Getting a little tired. It might be some of that sim drinking I did too. And I'm just sent it up the hill. Yeah, everybody's too slow up there for me to actually hang with them, which is annoying. Oh, I'm sorry, guy. That was, yeah, fuck it. It's fine. We'll follow the res here. Car's not driving right. Ugh. Alright. That's all the sim drinking that's gonna happen. Now it's time for some water. I want to follow Tandem if he comes around again, or Res. What is up, Fizzy? That's where I was trying to go. We're going to use the bobsled technique beloved by all to catch up. Straight out of Gran Turismo 2 right there. That's fine. Kusanagi, I don't know what you're trying to do, bud. But I'm probably not going to get out the way. Like, I did make a mistake, but I'm just going to pass you violently. I'm trying to tandem with Rez. I intend to do that. Alright. Having a little bit of difficulty getting the car to transition quite the way that I want it to. That was a damn shame because I was locked into position where I wanted to be right there. But yeah, the car is like bogging a fuck ton all of a sudden. It's like the tires just got way more grippy or the turbo just lost all of its power. I don't know which one happened. Oh shit, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't think that would work that well. Woke, it's a bone fucking stock. Haven't touched a thing. Come on, car. You weren't doing this to me the whole first half of this track. Or I suddenly forgot how to use my feet, which is also, I guess, a distinct possibility. Yeah, I thought he was going into the guardrail there. That was all my fault. It's so difficult to do this keyboard e-brake bullshit that it throws off my timing to do stuff, and if stuff doesn't go right, I'm physically not able to recover in the way that I would with a traditional e-brake location. Some of it's just a lack of practice. Come the fuck on, car, goddamn. Fuck this. I don't understand. What is the matter with this thing? Turbo's at 100%. Apparently I need to wear the tires down some. Would I say Forza Motorsport 7 feels realistic? Not for drifting. It's okay for grip. Suiso, what is up? My driving's been horrible trying to learn the SOAR and this track, but I'm still stoked my PC is together and I can finally join in. Heck yeah! That is the fun stuff. Bandit Oi, did I mess you up? I probably messed you up, sorry. Kyle Red K, good morning or good night. It is good night. It is 11:52. I'm towards the end of my stream. We're getting close to wrapping it. We've just done some healthy burnouts. Hoping that the car feels a little bit better to drive now. I guess I should cut a few solo laps and make sure the car actually feels decent to drive. Road Rider Tipsy Kame is spicy. I've been driving too, or drinking too. Nah, man, like, I just don't have patience for bullshit. Like, I never do. I just, don't tend to have it. Whoa. Jokebox, yeah, no, like, I was doing super fine when I first started. I don't know if it's because I'm being more conservative in the chase position, and that's causing me to, like, wait too late to get on throttle. That's probably what it is, honestly. Always assume that it's the driver and not the car. That's how you become the best driver. And it's also sometimes how you learn a ton of terrible habits to accommodate for terrible cars. But, I don't know, I'm gonna do a few solo laps to try to get my mind right and see, like, is the car bogging when I'm just driving totally by myself exactly how I want to drive? Because if it's not, then it was either just like that was strange. Then it's either a poor fit. Yeah, I'm experiencing some difficulty driving, but fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, like, clutch dropping and getting nothing sometimes is exactly like what you would expect. Like, if you go and just give it a tiny little clutch kick, then, you know, nothing positive is gonna happen. So, like, you do have to give it a good enough clutch kick. DK432 Gaming. Love watching your videos. Recently got a Logitech G920. Right on. Well, welcome to a live stream. It's super late. I'm really tired. All of a sudden, I've gone from driving really well to driving poorly, or the way that video games work is suddenly shifted and the car just sucks, and it's not me. It's probably me. On my live streams, we basically drive until we are too tired to drive well, and then we decide to go to sleep instead. So, that's kind of where we're at. Kapil, what is up, man? Good to see you. I'm doing great. I've made it to another Friday. I still haven't come down with the coronavirus. I'm thankful to be alive, be enjoying drifting electronically. I just dropped $220 on the real car, and I'm getting ready to pull the motor next weekend. So yeah, I'm doing well. Doing well. How are you? Nice little wall tap there. Really, it was a miscalculation, but I saved it in a styly way. Oh, it's Bandit. Bandit has got to put up with me being really tired. Hey man, I'm trying to... I don't think I'm drifting very well right now, but I'm at least good at talking. An essential video creator skill if you want to be in front of the camera. Have I got next week off or working through spring break? For me, next week is a regular work week, and the week after that is spring break. But I will be off the week after next. Having a rough time sleeping. I'm going to have a rough time sleeping. Between working up a sweat doing all this driving and staying up super late when I don't normally. I've also been doing a little bit of sim drinking as well. So I'm probably not going to sleep very well tonight. Man, these cars are gutless. Yeah, you must be a week ahead of me. Hopefully I'll get to catch up and make a few more videos. I suspect what's really going to happen is I'm going to spend that week working on the real car. Come on, fucking clutch kicks, work for a change, please. I know, I'm absolutely horrid to follow right now. I didn't think that would work, but I wanted to try it. Everybody can't sleep. Gaming Expert 264, you're calling it a night. I should probably call it a night soon-ish, but it's not time yet, so I'll see you later. Thank you for checking out the stream. Oh man, schools, crazy stuff. Has your school talked about possibly closing out of an abundance of caution? What the fuck even is this? Well, I'm tired, so I'm gonna end the stream because apparently I fucking suck at driving. Capil, no, I'm in the United States. Somebody else talked about coronavirus last time, and in chat, and I was just responding to it. We're gonna get close to winding this down because I'm driving so poorly. It's just not gonna be entertaining. And I do want to produce quality content. Look at this, I'm just spinning out constantly. So, any closing thoughts, comments, questions? You got 5 minutes. That was like a weird leg spike there. Yeah. Pred Rider, that sounds about right. I know you meant to say so they need to get tests before coming back to school, but I totally read that the way that you typed it, which is that they need to get test use back before coming to school. LOL. Yeah, they need to get tested. That's true. DK4324342. Yeah. DK, thank you for checking out the stream for a little bit, and you have a good weekend as well, and a good night. One of these days, I'll do a decent lap. tagged you in the shared post chat. Right on. I'll check it out. That sounds good. Whew. Oh man, oh man. I did get a couple of skipped frames. Finally, everybody was telling me that there were a few, and I'm seeing the evidence of that eventually. Oh, Pro Trader. Yeah, it just cracked me up. I was like, alright then. You don't have the balls to come back to school. Oh my goodness. TMS. One of my buddies just got hurt really badly at Texas Motor Speedway. I talked about it in the Discord a little bit. So TMS is a very fast track. It's one of the faster tracks that really is remotely in the realm of tracks I can go to. North Course has kind of a fast entry, but that's about it. But TMS is a quick track. Fourth gear, 100-mile-an-hour entries, pretty common. I haven't driven there myself. I've ridden along. I just haven't had the trailer situation sorted out to where I would actually drive down and take my car, because I'm not going to street drive all the way out there. But they run the opposite direction from Formula Drift, so they start like running to the power alley, and then they go through it as a chicane and go around the big sweeping turn to where Formula Drift starts their run up. So, you know, at Lone Star Drift, they run it reverse style. These are some random Turtle Beach headphones that are like $50. They're okay. Anyway, normally that's all that you do, is you run from the ending point, or like the power alley, through to the sweeper. It's like 3 turns. You just chicane, sweeper. And only a couple of people, when Aaron was running his events, only a couple of people are really given permission to drift the entire back of the track on the infield, because it's very fast, and there's a couple of sketch places where they've got like a fire hydrant. It's got K barriers all around it. It's not that far off the track, so if you're going reverse style and you were to fly off track, everywhere else you've got tons of runoff, and you won't get hurt. It's gravel, so the car might get hurt a little bit, you know, dinged up, beat up, but the drivers themselves will be fine. Here's a clip from TMS, so you can see they start at the back. There's the power alley. There's Fielding Shredder doing what he does best in shredding his arrow. Then they go around the sweeper, and that ends the event. However, these guys, there was an event recently by, I think, Novice Garage and Drift With Us, and shout out to you guys for putting events together. That's really cool. It was their first event, and it sounded like it was mostly a good time, but unfortunately one of my buddies got hurt because they were drifting more or less the entire track, or the back section of track as well. And unfortunately, one of the guys, he's pretty good. He's all right. I wouldn't have, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have advised him to run the back part of the track, but he ended up dropping a tire and losing control of the vehicle and slamming into this K barrier and broke like 8 ribs, partially collapsed a lung. He's going to be all right, but he's got a bit of a road of healing to look forward to, unfortunately, and the car is probably toast. I mean, it's hurt a lot at best, and quite possibly he's going to have to get a new shell. So it's weird, because like, we do this stuff all the time and you don't think about it, but it is kind of dangerous. Stuff can go wrong. So my buddy Anthony down in Texas, because he couldn't get back to Oklahoma, gotta recover a little bit first. Man, I hope that you're doing all right, as all right as you can do, and sorry that happened. It could have been any of us, you know. Like, I try not to put myself in situations where that can happen. I try not to get in over my head, but unfortunately, the better you get, the less of a miscalculation puts you in an unrecoverable scenario. So if there's places where there are hard, solid objects that you could hit, I really try to be very respectful of the cars, and that's all I can do is, you know, everybody hope that you do your best and don't wipe, because it's a wild time. Let's see. Echo, yeah, good night, good night. Thank you for checking out the stream. Maori AA, do you have a video on how you built my wooden rig? Yes, I actually have an entire playlist on like DIY sim rig or sim rig DIY, something like that. Because I built a number of things. I've built the rig that I'm sitting in. I have so I've got like a tired. Let me speak English to you, please. Sorry. So I have two videos on the sim rig. I have one that's a short video that is more of like a cinematic, fun watch, but I don't go into excruciating detail about what I did. A lot of people ask though, like, hey, will you make plans and show us exactly what you did? So then I have linked from that, which is my big video. It's got, I don't know, 20,000 views or 16,000 views or something. It's doing decently. From there, I have like a 20-minute long, like this and then this and then this breakdown video of how to build it. In addition to that, I also built out of wood a rig, and I've got my triple monitor stand sitting on it. So it is also on the channel, and it's the same. I've got like a little 3.5 minute like jam where you see it come together really quick if you just, you know, want to enjoy watching it get built in fast motion, and it's a fun little watch. But then if you see that and you say, you know, I want to do that, then you can watch a longer build video on that as well, where I break it all down. DK, yeah, it's gonna take a while. It sucks to have the first event of the year when you come back all rusty and stuff, end up probably totaling the car and taking a decent chunk out of your health. But I suspect that he's going to be back to it before the end of this year if everything works out. So it's wild to think about, like, and that was a single car incident. So, like, honestly, he would have been better off in a tandem crash, because typically the closing speed between the lead car and a car that might hit the lead car is, you know, 20 miles an hour at most, and that would be like a hard hit. Usually it's 5 or 10, but he was probably going at least 60. Probably not much more. Probably around 60 when he hit that wall. And you know, there's no give. It was a 2-ton concrete K barrier to like stop cars from hitting things. So it just, and that was that. And he had to, like, his body and his roll cage had to take all the impacts. So it was a bad time. I wasn't there to see it personally. I saw some of the pictures after the fact and then read about it. And oh man, hopefully soon he'll be feeling a lot better as he heals, because that's stuff's intense, man. Like, it's crazy to think how casually we just do all this stuff in real life. And I mean, we are safe until you're not. So who knows? You know, they always say if you're gonna drift, eventually you're gonna break the car, and if you wipe out in the car, you might hurt yourself. So I don't know. I guess you just have to love what you do to the point that you overcome any concerns about getting into accidents. Mark says, I have trouble with these cars going to lock and not having a lot of force feedback. Yeah, I mean, I mostly drive with the gas pedal and let go of the wheel, and it just like spins on its own, so I don't have to really do a whole lot. It works pretty well. I don't know. But there are good, like, if you had a Fanatec CSW, or even just a Fanatec, I can share my settings, but they won't help if you're not on it. DK says, also sucks having the name DK and drifting like a 16-year-old teenager, because I am. Hey man, it's alright. It is all good. Once you get a couple of more years under your belt anyway, you'll be crushing it. I mean, you really will be the DK. It's fine. Good thing the rib didn't puncture the lung. No, it did not. Blunt force did partially collapse one of the lungs, but not too badly. If a collapsed lung is something you can describe as not too bad. Matt says, my rig is just an IKEA table with the wheel clamped on, still single monitor. All you really need when starting out. That is so true. I mean, I was rocking, up until we hit 5,000 subs, I was rocking single monitor. I didn't even use the real head motion that like moves the camera in the direction that you steer. So like if you were to steer to the right here, the camera actually looks to the right as well so that you can see out the side windows. It really is all you need though. Like even now I could go back to Lamppost, hey, what is up, dude? Yeah, I could go back to single monitor and I would do fine. The only thing for me is I can't tandem very closely because I like to use a fairly decent, like similar to this, well, you can't see it, but similar to what I had earlier in the stream, I like to use a fairly decent field of view. And so as a result, instead of like driving like this to people, I start driving like this to them. Headphones just shut off. So instead of driving really close to people on single monitor, I start driving back here where I can see them, so it becomes more cat and mouse, as opposed to close up like in this clip. Some of my Australian buddies, you can see the Kame trick sticker on that R32 from Ebisu's school course. They get pretty close here in a second. Man, those are some of the readiest cars. There's Nomaken checking out my car. That's one of my favorite clips. He likes it. It's good times. I was translating for him last year. Yeah, man, single monitor gang, which I'm no longer on. And the extra view, oh god, the extra view is really, really nice, guys. Like I can see not to the edge of both windows, but like on my stream, it comes out to like the edge of the side mirror, and then it comes like that much farther. So it's pretty cool. Tours on that flight stick though. Fred Rider, dude, you really do get down for being on a single monitor. I mean, it's a TV, sure, but still, that's wild. Yeah, I can see, because I've got extra monitors, so I can see you doing the burnouts. You're going around and around. Timmy, yeah, we pretty much rocked it out. I'm just wrapping up for tonight, but you can check out the VOD. And I switched into doing 2 streams tonight. Basically, when there's a track change, I end one stream and I start the next. So that's the way to do it. Yep, car radar is really helpful, and bonnet cam, that's what I was doing as well. If I needed to see a little bit more, the hood cam was really helpful. 350Z smoke, yup. DK also sucks that my dream daily is a 2015 Ford Mustang GT with a Rocket Bunny kit. Do they make a Rocket Bunny kit for the Mustang? That'd be cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, such a good time. My Nardi wheel is a like a Nardi Torino, the classic. Yeah, it's got the perforated leather, so it's, man, single monitor gang for life. I can't say that anymore though, can I? It's got perforated leather. It's got red stitching on the inside to match the car, and then it's the like black spokes. So unlike this wheel that has silver spokes, you can see there, it's just got black spokes. The flight stick is the best handbrake. Yeah, that's true. I mean, spacebar is not bad, but that's that. And then of course I have this fun wheel off my AE Hachiroku from Japan. So that's kind of a fun little Maziora trick. You see it goes from green to purple depending on the lighting. I don't know if it's really coming through very well, but it's kind of a fun thing. And I'm not going to need it anymore, so we'll just set it down. Turn some of this stuff off. Roof cam is my go-to, but a lot of cars don't have it, which kind of sucks. So, Matt, one thing you might try, if you go to the cockpit view where you have the steering wheel drawn, and you go to your like far right hand like apps menu that slides out, and you pick driving position, it's a little bit of a pain, but you can pick driving position and then actually adjust the seat, like the seat, which is effectively your camera, and you can put it up above the roof. It may not work as well as you really want it to, but you can get a little bit of a benefit that way. Like if I normally have my steering wheel view, you can move it forward and then up so that you see a higher hood view than you normally would. It's something to try maybe. Tora says I got a flight stick to steer with, and also yaw flex the clutch. humble blade, or that's a flex in and of itself. Using one for handbrake steering as a separate flight stick. Dude, Tora, you need to play Mech Warrior or BattleTech with all the sticks. That would be fun. Back in the day when I was a kid, I went to Dave & Buster's and they had a Mech Warrior BattleTech VR. Well, not VR, but like a cockpit for it, and it was super cool. Falcon or Velino? I've driven Falcons. I like them. Velino, I have not. Oh, Matt, you get real head motion on the roof? Or, oh, just regular head motion, like when you brake and it goes like this and stuff. Yeah, like you could turn that off, but that's a lot of work. It's probably not worth it, is it? It's fair point, fair point. Personally, I like Kenda tires for rears, and I like Federals for fronts, but, I mean, anything grippy up front, and then medium grip in the back is kind of the balance that I like. I play Roblox. Heck yeah. Oh really? They stuck with a stick setup? I mean, you can... Oh, we've probably talked about this, haven't we? Gosh, I'm forgetting everything. Yeah, you can do so much better accuracy with the mouse. So for killing people, it's way better. But DK, also know that I'm 16. I watch and see movies where they try to make the shifting intense and it looks really stupid, but when I was a kid it was cool. Yeah, for real, like the Fast and the Furious 10-speed shifters was all the time. That's not how it works. They're going fast. They're like in 6th and 5th or 5th and 4th all the time, and that's it. Alright guys, my voice is getting worn out. I'm going to call it a night here as we see Abo Satsukawa drift in Virginia. So... thank you all for watching as always. If you haven't already, hey, Steam Labs with the chat, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button if you have not already. And if you are new to the channel and want to help it grow, please share it with one of your car buddies. Don't just spam it indiscriminately because who cares about that. But if you got a car friend who is into drifting and you think they would enjoy this channel, then please introduce them to it. I'd be happy to grow the crew. As well as the Discord. We will see you guys in there as well. That's linked in the description also. And yeah, that's it folks. Have a great night and a wonderful weekend. And always enjoy hanging with you. Peace.